Hi everyone, I am Slightly Bitta from Dylan Rants,
And I am Queen from Set the Record Straight. Brr.
and this is the OGBG breakdown.
Do whatever it takes. There's only gonna be one winner.
If you wanted me to vote for you, you'd have to give me $150,000.
Uh, Dylan!
Hi Queen, it's so good to see you.
I know we've been so busy.
Seriously, life has hit us like a freight train.
No, seriously. So, like, this is the part that I was like, when we were pre-prepping talking about what we were going to do for today, as far as like wrapping up the season, you
Mm.
know, I just want to give you a big shout out and some
Aw,
flowers. And the reason why is because I love the fact that you have so much ambition. I love the fact that you are working towards your goals. I love the fact that you don't allow even for the BS to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like infiltrate into what you're doing at the end of the day. And I just wanted to say like congratulations to you on your internship.
thank
Congratulations
you.
to you on your career advancement. You are a phenomenal individual. Like I knew that from Beast Games, but just like the year that we have grown, I can't pour into you enough because I really want you to know how talented you are. I really want you to know just how of a great person you are. You're able to move in ways that you can't even see. You know what I mean? And I think that that's what makes you so great. The last recap you guys saw was in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But Dylan has been on fire. Okay. He has
Oh.
been, I'm so serious, bro. I gotta pour into you right now. And I
It's
know
just
you're not
so,
expecting
it's
this.
hard for me to accept compliments, but this
It's
is like the
okay,
sweetest
but
thing ever, I
you
swear.
guys, he doesn't know that he did not know that we were gonna start out this way. So I just had to
No, I
put that
did
out there.
not.
But your birthday, came across your grandparents'
Yes,
birthday. You've been
yes.
juggling the internship and two other jobs, bro. Like I
It's
really
it's been a lot. It's to the point where I think I got to cut down on like what I've been doing. It's insane.
the self-regulation though that you are embracing is a beautiful thing. It's a skill and it's something that I feel like is going to not only be something you'll be able to attest to and speak to on your future applications beyond this internship, honey.
I
Okay.
know that's
But
right.
you know what I mean? But like I just have to say so, okay, Jack Links, they sent some promo
Oh yeah, I
and
see. That is Jack Links. It's really cute.
they sent us
Oh, us.
a card. So I want to read it out to you. It
Oh
says
my God.
High 817 and 740 meat merch pure greatness. Consider this your post. Beast Games recovery pack. All right. Enjoy the goods, rock the gear, and stay wild out there. Thanks for repping Jack Links. Cheers, Jack Links and Mr. Beast. And it says, want to prove you can snack like a beast? We're here for it. DM us anything. So that's
That
the
is
card.
awesome. That is so sweet. Thank you, Jack Links and
Look,
Mr.
they
Beast.
sent us merch.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Yes. So this is going to be in your birthday care package that I'm going to send you.
Oh my God. We got meat for days.
And they also
Mine's out of the
sent
gutter.
you
Oh my God.
this really dope shirt. And I love it
Wait,
because it
that is
has
sick.
Mr. Beast and Jack Links all on the sleeves, on both
Yeah.
sleeves. So this is to us.
No,
Cheers
I
to
will
us.
legitimately rock that. My students are gonna lose their mind. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Oh my God.
You
Imagine.
know what's crazy is that even after like all this shenanigans, I don't have any Mr. Beast merch besides like I don't besides like my freaking jersey is usually behind me. It fell and like the frame broke, but I only have like
Aw.
I know it's literally on the floor over there, but I only have the clothes that we had to wear in the game and
Mhm.
um I think they gave us a little care package with like a sticker or whatever, but I don't have any Mr. Beast merch to really rep. So
I
this is
love
so
it.
sweet. I
I
finally get
love
to
it.
rep something.
Yes. And you got the dopest shirt because it's like the logo is so huge on the front. Like, I can't wait. Like, when you wear this in
Mm.
class, you have to record it. Like, we got to
Oh,
see
I
what the
will.
kids are
Oh, I
saying.
will.
Well, with
Yeah.
permission. Maybe just you. You don't have to necessarily get the kids because I know how that goes. You have to have
Yeah.
permission slips. But I think it would be so dope. We could like record you walking in and hear what they're saying. You know what I
Oh my
mean?
God. They still to this day like ask me questions. Like there's people that watch the first season that like
Mhm.
they didn't watch it when it first came out, and they asked me all these
Yes.
questions about Jeff, about like things that went down, like why I didn't take a bribe, all these things. And it's just so interesting to see how even to this day, season one is having an impact on kids and people as a
No,
whole.
no, seriously, it's crazy you said that. Shout out to one of my sis, Danielle. So I used to date her brother, and but we stayed just, we were dating for a while, so it still feels like family. And she just literally DM'd me today while I was taking my nap, and
Oh, really?
she's like, my kids love Mr. Beast, and she's like, I knew that you were on the show. She's like, but her kids are younger, but she's like, they didn't know that I knew you, and she's like, I told them, and she's like, they are just flipping out. And it's like, it's
Yeah.
so crazy to think that people are still saying that about season one. Like, it's just
It's on like the same level as like Survivor. Like
true.
but it's a different audience because so many people love Mr. Beast. It's had such an impact on the show. I hate to say it, like I've gotten more questions about season one than I have about season two, without people even knowing that
Ooh.
I like before they even knew that I was on season
Hmm.
two. I have one student that he asks me all the time what I thought. He's a big fan of Jack. I think Jack connected really well with the younger people, probably maybe because they see themselves in him.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it's interesting. But that was so sweet. Thank you to Jack Links for
I
that care
know.
package, and I'm so excited to receive it. And I love you, and
I
I'm
love
so
you
excited
too.
to wrap this thing up. It hasn't been the same doing it without you.
No, but seriously, no, seriously. So just so you guys know, all of the interviews that we've had, I mean, we've had interviews with JT, we've had interviews
Yeah.
with Akira, like all of those are going to be coming. Trust me when I tell you, but
Yes.
you
Now that
know,
the season is over.
period. But prioritizing, your professional life and then your personal life is a thing. And I just want to say shout out to you for prioritizing, your future, and this is
Mhm.
a part of it. We're able to come back to this anytime.
Yeah, and there's still so much to do, especially now that the contracts are up and we know everything that's gone down. So
Ciao.
yeah,
Mm.
I guess we should just jump into it. So I'm to preface this, this isn't going to be like a standard recap. We kind of discussed
Yeah.
that. We're just going to give our honest thoughts on the season and what transpired in this episode. I'm gonna start off by being really honest, and this may like hurt some feelings, but I could not finish this episode.
I,
I I couldn't, and it's not because I don't think that the team did a good job designing the challenges or because I didn't think there was effort in it or I didn't like the players, but we kind of talked about this behind the scenes that we
mhm.
felt it was very obvious who was going to win. And
Yeah.
the second that Hannah went out and August went out, and really when August went out, I was like, oh my God. And then I thought maybe something might change. But then Hannah went out. I was like, yeah, like Tyler's probably winning. But even if it's not Tyler, to me, the final three guys were all in a very similar category of like
Yeah.
really calm, really genuine, nice dads. And
Hmm.
I wasn't interested. I did take a peek at what was coming. Like I did look a little bit at like the bribe that was given and the suitcase game that they did at the end, but I'm sorry, I just didn't. Were you able to get through the episode?
I was. I was.
Good.
So, okay,
Okay.
I'll say this. I thought, maybe I wanted, maybe it's a combination of both, but I'll say this. I wanted Corey to win, but you're absolutely right. I
Yeah.
called weeks ago. I mean, I remember even talking to Patrick about it, that I was like, I don't know. I was like, it's giving Tyler one. And it was like, after the $1 million bribe challenge,
Mhm.
or the $1 million grab challenge, I was like, at first, I thought Nick goes far. I thought Nick was going to be in top six
You're
before that
right.
challenge, right?
Yeah.
So then when it comes across and he's taking 250K, I was like, oh no, he's not in the finals. You
No,
know
that
what I
was well, I
mean?
feel like someone said something about Nick to us. They said something about Ian, and then I think one of the people said Nick was also kind of shady
Well, I think,
at the party.
yeah, at the Survivor crossover, I think there's a couple of things with it with Nick
Mhm.
because So I think Nick has to like, it's like, okay, when you have a secret, it's like you can't tell the secret before it's time. So I
Yeah.
think that sometimes appearing to be shady is also a part of someone's strategy. Like,
Hmm.
it's just on the opposite perspective. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
I don't genuinely think that Nick is a bad person outside of life. I think he's
No.
come through, and come from a lot of, trials and tribulations. So
Hmm.
I feel like he knew that he deserved this, maybe not just from how he played in this season, but he
Hmm.
was evaluating his entire life. You know what I mean?
I think that when he didn't take the million, he didn't really understand the magnitude of it until he saw his family. And then once he saw
Mhm.
his family, it went through his mind, oh my God, I cannot turn down money like that again if I get the chance. And I think it says something about him that he did have the chance to take the full million. And he, in my opinion, it was a bad move, like excuse me, game wise.
There you
But
go.
I was gonna say it's
Flatulence.
not a recap without some type of bodily function
From
coming out of
doing
me.
it.
But I think it was a poor move. He might as well have
Mhm.
just taken, if you're gonna take more than you should just take all of it. But I think it says something about him that he's like, okay, I want a little more, but I'm still gonna leave enough for my friends to get something.
Honestly, one of the things that I did really love was I loved the top ten's consideration for each other, even
Yeah.
when they were cutthroat. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? Because I feel like that was the lack with the $1 million grab from season one. I think that there was so much emotion that people just lost the
Hmm.
connectiveness or like the connectivity with the bonds that were built. And
Hmm.
so it's like they fell apart during that phase. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what I realized listening to the final? They said it was 41 days of filming. And mind you, I'm I know I filmed season one and it was like a week in Vegas, the break, and then I was there for maybe like 8 to 9 days, maybe 10 days in total. So that's like maybe 15 days. So this is a little bit more. And how long do you say that you were there for?
I was like, we were gone a month.
Yeah.
I remember
But
that. I will say I
from
was gone a month.
Toronto in total, would you say was about a month?
Yeah,
Mm.
because like just see, remember episode one took like 4 days.
Yeah,
Like
it took a long
episode,
time.
yeah, episode one took forever, and then once we started getting into the city, it was like I remember there was just like delays, things like that from
There
the
were a
weather,
lot of
you know,
delays.
you know what I mean. So like, and then there were some things that were unexpected. So like, I definitely know. I remember because I had to take off of work for the whole entire month. And I literally, when I
Mm.
came back from work, like I literally only had a couple of days. So like
Yeah.
I don't
So
so like either, like long story short, it was either go back to work or it was win it all because
yeah.
I wasn't gonna come home to a
So,
job.
so I mean, this season was longer. Like they were stuck with each other from 41 from day one to day 41. That's a huge difference from uh even a month. Like when I feel like once you get past that threshold of a month, like it does start to get serious. And from what I understand, they
Mhm.
had a lot more downtime. Like when you
Yes.
think about it, there were less challenges on this season and more like just time to be in the city and having to travel to different places than last season was. So I think that's part of why they had this bond as close as they
Hmm.
did.
Hmm.
Something I really thought about on that end is
Hmm.
that it's very clear that there were these tight bonds, but it was hard for me as a viewer to empathize with it. Um, and I realized I really think it's because they don't have confessionals. Here's why.
Okay. Okay.
I think what makes having confessionals great is that when you're in a situation like here's the episode itself. You
Hmm.
have Tyler betraying August. And
Hmm.
in that moment, it was kind of just like a boom. Oh shit, what did Tyler do? And then the reveal that it's August. And in a way, I didn't know how to react as a viewer. It felt a little anticlimactic. It was kind of like I was in a state of shock because I don't understand what happened. And I think what could have really drawn that moment is if we're hearing what Tyler was thinking in his head. We're hearing what
Hmm.
August is thinking in his head, what Hannah's thinking in her head when she thinks this is all going down. And that would have given them the opportunity to build a little bit more suspense before Tyler
Hmm.
made his decision on what to do. And I think that has been the thing that's been plaguing, honestly, this whole season.
Well, I think there's a lot of different dynamics, even just from what, viewers are saying, from things that I've seen on social media and online. Like, I think that there's a lot of components to break down in what you said, right? And the
Yeah.
reason why I think that is because so we have the alliances, we
Mhm.
have the production that is trying to capture, because it is unscripted,
Yeah.
they're trying to capture, the true and raw, reactions. So like I feel like what you're saying is there needs to be maybe less emphasis on just them like hanging out, and more emphasis on their thought process prior to the next challenge, prior to,
I
or
honestly
post elimination. Like I think that would be a good contrast.
Honestly, I don't even think we just need to see the downtime. I think the reason why other shows like Survivor or Big Brother uh, get us so invested in these people is
Mhm.
that someone can act one way during a challenge. Like Hannah may have to kiss their asses in this challenge because she's not in their alliance, but she may
Mhm.
have a completely different narrative going on in her head. So,
Mhm.
because these challenges don't have any confessionals, we never understand what the true motivations of the players are until the game is over.
You know what's so interesting? You want to know what I just really realized?
Mhm.
They did do that with Monica.
Well, Monica, I feel like Monica was doing it on her own.
But even still, the way the production cut, edited and cut, what she was doing,
Yes.
I feel like that is exactly. I feel like that's like synonymous to what you're saying, but in a
Yeah.
legit, but applying it to every
Well,
player.
and have you
You know what I
noticed
mean?
that, did you notice that every, like, Monica has probably been the most polarizing or connected character that the audience has
Hmm.
had? I mean,
Hmm.
honestly, like, I kind of was shitting on her a little bit, but I realized I did the same thing that she was doing. Like, when I was in the cube, I whispered into my microphone, like, I'm trying to get them I was saying what my mindset was in the game because I
Hmm.
didn't want them to just see me crying or me with my shades on and not understand what my thought process was when I'm letting these two people cuss me out. I'm not defending myself. Uh,
Hmm.
but I don't think every person is going to have that mindset to think in the challenge. I need to
No.
whisper into my
Oh, I mean,
microphone.
obviously, very
Yeah.
true.
I
Like
feel,
Brett. Like Brett is
yes.
not the kind of guy to.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like which we all know that's his MO.
Yeah.
He's a chill, calm guy. Like we get it, but
Yeah.
I feel like even for someone like him, a confessional would have given him so much more character.
Yes.
You know what I
Maybe
mean?
they're afraid that people won't give their true feelings, or maybe there's this aspect of wanting to be different from other shows. I feel like that is a
I
big
think
part
that's
of
I
it.
think that's the thing. I definitely can
Yeah,
see that because Jimmy does not like to be
copying.
compared to things that he doesn't feel are like elite or superior. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Which he has rightfully earned.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
honestly, it's not like he's copying other shows. This format is like a documentary, and a documentary without interviews
Mm.
is missing a whole part of it. Like, I don't feel like if he sets up a beast cabin where they go in during all this off time, and we had a lot of downtime. The downtime is the time where they could take these people like in holding and get their thoughts. Even how about in between setups? You know how it takes them forever to set up a challenge and to make sure that everything is fair or whatever. That's a perfect time to grab them and bring them to a little tent or a little RV.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that that's
Yeah, I do like that. I really do like that.
I think it's a testament to season one that the players were so charismatic or polarizing that the audience did make that connection so fast. But season two, you have all these influencers or people that are used to talking to a camera. It's almost like a missed opportunity when you don't give them the chance to really shine in front of a camera like they could.
Well, I'll say definitely more so when we had larger numbers, but once we got to the top 10, I
Hmm.
mean, the only person that's like a social influencer I felt like was Jim.
No,
And
I would say Monica too. Monica's got a huge following.
no, no,
Um,
no. But that's what I'm like. Jim, Monica, and Jack are kind of like, but
and
they're also,
August.
yeah, but from an audience perspective, like just watching the show, not really.
Mhm. Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I think the cast from the start was full of more like influencer type people than it was just
Exactly,
regular
exactly.
people. So that was why this season needed it. So yeah, like I hear people saying that they don't feel as connected to, and it's no shade to the cast, but
No, 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 not at all, not at all, like
it,
not at all.
it's like
But there was
you've got a
like even
top three of Brett, Corey, and Tyler,
exactly.
and I, I'm not saying they're boring, but I'm not saying they're boring.
And that's exactly what I wanted to get to too. It's not
Mhm.
even exact. It's not a. It's about the fact that we've already seen it in a certain
Yeah.
way with the real Avengers from season one.
Yes. Oh my
No
God.
shade to season two calling
There's
themselves the
so many
Avengers,
parallels now
but
that you
for me,
mention
it's
it.
always season one are going to be the Avengers. Like that
Yeah.
plane ride to Panama. You know what I mean? Like when we were really breaking things down. Like
They
that's
should
going to
have picked
always.
a different
Yeah.
name because if that name wasn't copyrighted, they would have definitely featured it on the show. They just probably couldn't, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, I mean, and not even just that, but like there was just so many similarities to season one. Like you said, even in the very last episode, like
Oh, the
the
challenges.
like I'll put it to you like this: the way they had the like the floor puzzle, you know, where you had to like remember the pattern.
Yeah,
The
this
way
was
they
just
did
a
that in
redo.
season one and the way they did it in season two, we were still captivated, even though they used the same thing. But I
Mhm.
feel like for a season finale, like the way they brought out the wipeout, you know what I mean, challenge, I felt like for a season finale, I was just not impressed. And then it kind of
Yeah.
felt like, oh, so it was like it left so many questions in my mind. So it was like, okay, so is this going to always be the concept? Sorry, I got my window open. It's a little
No,
bit.
it's
We're
no,
in that spring
this is
season, but
this is a great point. The biggest turnoff for me with this finale wasn't even just who made the top three, but it was I knew what to expect. I think that yeah,
yes,
I think that they
yes,
were trying to remix. Yeah, I think they
that
were
hit it. That hit it. Boop.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were trying, and that's what it's great about Mr. Beast is you don't know what to expect, but it almost felt like they wanted to just take what they did in season one and they just wanted to make it slightly better. But
Or like with the briefcase challenge, or they actually wanted the challenge to play out how it was designed.
yeah, it,
There's that too.
it just it doesn't really work when I'll give it to you this way. We talked a little bit about this on the phone. I took a course in voting strategy because I
Right.
love social strategy. I mean, I hosted a game show for years. And with voting strategies, you have to look from the perspective of someone that's going to break the game. You can't look from the perspective of how you want the game to be played.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest problem with the puzzle challenge, for example, the
Mm-hmm.
rules, the way the rules are set up is that you don't have to be good at solving this puzzle. You just need to have allies in the top four with you, and you can screw someone over. And when you've got these three guys that have been together the whole season, and you have poor Hannah all on her own, like there was nothing that she could do to solve that. What's his name? Oh, Tyler. Tyler did say that if Hannah went up first, he would have helped her. I don't know if I believe that. Um,
I definitely don't believe that. Like you literally got
yeah.
out your number one bro, so I definitely don't believe that you were serious about that with Hannah.
Yeah, so I mean, who knows? Maybe he really was about that life. But I think that they didn't count on an alliance of three being at the top four and it playing out the way it did. Because honestly, it was a little boring. I think what they could have done is maybe not let people help. That's the only way. But they also designed it, I think, wanting people to help because there was so many blocks.
You know, well, actually, it's so funny because that part when that challenge did come up, I did think of you, and you were like,
Yeah.
"No," you were like, "The first part repeated itself," and they did the same thing, and
Yeah.
so there was that little letdown. It was like, oh, it was like it's not complicated, like you know what I mean? It was kind of
Yeah, it
like,
was almost the same type
yeah,
of like thing as episode. It's like, okay, it's the blocks again. And it is possible, by the way, to do that challenge like on your own. You need to use the strat. Go watch episode one where we said the strategy of making words with the things. You can
mhm.
also assign numbers to the colors as well, if you could, think of all that. Um,
Yeah,
like there was ways to do it. It's just the challenges in this finale catered to a majority having a mob mentality. So it led to a bad
Yeah,
result.
I'll just say this, especially after season one and season two. One thing I can say I'm looking forward to season three,
Uh-huh.
is the fact that since we have individuals repping separate countries,
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to see more of that. I am tired of the camaraderie. I do want to see more individualistic players. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Like, and I think that I mean, I'll put it to you like this. Like I had very strong connections with people, but as far as like bonds go, they were pretty limited. Like,
Yeah.
my platform before getting on the helicopter, my game show bestie,
Yeah.
Tawana up until a certain point. Like there was I can name, you know what I mean, like individually those people. But outside of that, I essentially was still a standalone player. So
Yeah.
like I appreciate that. Like this isn't like a basketball game. This isn't a football game where
Yeah.
it's
It's
like,
not a
we're
team
trying.
sport.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like
But they
I
never have a chance queen to betray each other. And when you're put in like Tyler
there
was
you go.
never in a
There you
spot
go.
where he had to show his cards until the very end. If he had to, then maybe they wouldn't have wrote it out the way they did.
And I'll put it to you like this. I know that to be true because I was reflecting on this part. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, it's great that he won, but
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that Jack is getting all the backlash for the cube for getting Sue out because Tyler was in there as well. Tyler
Yeah.
also manipulated Sue as
He
well. So
just
like
didn't do the dirty work.
he didn't
That's
do the
what it
dirty work,
is.
but he still played the part. It's no
Yeah.
different than association, which we all
Yeah.
know there's so many things going on in the world right now that are just so not right. And then
Yeah.
there are people that are covering for people, you know what I mean? Which
Yeah.
it makes you guilty. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like I I'll put like you said we're speaking honestly. I think this is probably one of the most honest statements I'll have in anything that we've recorded. I'm so tired of the bullshit ass facade that these, challenges are, they're meant and driven to, have the most integrous person go through. Now, Jeff,
Hmm.
yes, that was true. For this season two, it's
No,
not.
they,
And I don't know what
yeah.
world people are living in, but like, okay, everybody did some dirt and some shade. Now, yes, outside of the games, these people are great people. I mean, like I remain in my, my
Yeah.
words when after we left the crossover, after meeting everyone, I was like, they casted great freaking people.
Yeah, I
You
just
know what
think
I'm saying?
maybe they
But
weren't in a position to really highlight. Like, if you really think about it, the people we connected with all had a chance to shine, to
yeah.
be backstabby. Monica, um, Nick, Jack,
Mhm.
even Hannah, like Tyler in the final moments, August. Like, we got a moment for them to really shine and to make a statement in the game and make a
Mhm.
move. I also think a problem with this season was that there was too many people that were similar. With
Yes. It was
yeah,
like watching the same Yes, that is a good call out. Like, because, okay, literally, the final two players were literally the same guys. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Now, like Brett doesn't have kids, but he is like his story, his character arc was,
it's the
oh, he has a
same.
fiance, he wants
Yeah.
to build the family, and then the other two people have one. So it was like I get you in that
It's the
comparison.
same like
Yeah.
avenue, and
Yeah.
it's boring. Like you got to think as a producer, like if this person or this combination of people were all that's left to run the show, could they do it? And the answer is no. And again,
Yeah.
it's no shade whatsoever. But it's just me speaking honestly. I'm not being a hater. I'm being
No, and
honest.
it's not. No, it's not. We're not taking away anything, but this is
Yeah.
just like a review. It's just this is our
Yeah.
our depiction of what we watched, and then like
Yeah.
so. One thing I'm curious to find out because I feel like season one started off a little weak and gained its strength as the challenges grew because we
Agreed.
finally got to knowing individual players.
Yeah.
This time around, I feel like it was kind of the opposite. I feel like the show season two started off so strong and we were captivated. And it was like, and that's the reason why they had 9.4 and 9.5 ratings. But
Yeah.
I'm curious to see, because I haven't checked yet, but I'm curious to see what the ratings have, come to, as far as like the ultimate decision factor, not just
Yeah.
for the whole entire season, but then individually the episodes. Because like I'll say the million
Yeah.
dollar grab was a great challenge just in itself. But again, I didn't understand why they were being buried. Like they could have there
It
could have been
felt
so many
like
other
they were trying to
things.
be cool. That's what it felt like, a cool thing. But I'm talking to Danielle a lot. I don't know if you met Danielle. She was on season 1 with us. She's on Fear Factor right
Fear
now.
Factor. Yeah, I seen it.
Yes.
She got
And
bit by a snake 5 freaking times
yes.
in that promo that they're running right now.
Yeah.
Girl,
No,
kudos to you
I
because I
watched
don't
the
know. I
episode
don't know.
and she's doing great. But we were talking about it, that the stuff they're doing on Fear Factor was what we thought we would do on Beast Games. And to a point, why aren't these people getting buried alive? Why aren't these people having to jump out of helicopters? Like, this is supposed to be like the grandest scheme thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it, I don't think they're being lazy whatsoever, but
No,
it feels a little lazy.
no, I agree with you because the challenges that Mac, like I don't know why for some reason, but out of everybody that I've watched, I love the way Mac
Mhm.
executed his challenges, even when Jimmy brought
Yes.
him back, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the challenges that Mac went through alone to me were way better challenges than
Yeah.
season two.
Having to
I'm
get
just being
money,
honest.
having to get money out of a car. And I understand they want to make it equal. Like, you can be really young, really old and still do these things. But they are like, you can do challenges that are equal like that. I also think in retrospect, I think 200 might still be too big of a number. Because looking at this season, they are able to do episodes where they are only eliminating a handful of people. Maybe you downsize to 100, because it feels like you're getting people to just fill out the number. And unfortunately, I think some of the fillers got to the end of the game. And I'm being real. You can be a great person, but
Yeah.
not good for TV. And
No, that is a fair statement. That is a very fair statement.
like Katie with a K.
I
I
oh my God, I was thinking about her too when you were talking
I
about
like
the
her.
boys.
I'm happy for her that she got a great amount of money. But compare her to Hannah, who both of them got a like almost non-existent edit this season. Hannah had the balls, or had the vagina, whatever you want to call it,
The
to
Chi-Chis.
the chi-chi. She had the chi-chis to stand her ground and double down and put all her money in to get it. Katie was talking about doing it, but when the time came, she folded. Someone like that, like, I don't know if you should have necessarily been there, even if I
No, no,
do
no.
like you.
I'll put it to you like this. We are very dominant people.
Hmm.
Katie is not. And I love the fact that she is representing the people that are like her. I love
Yeah.
the fact that, like, I'll put it to you like this. I think that she is an important person to, like, to have at the end in this way. You
Hmm.
have people at home that are questioning whether they could even complete a challenge in Beast Games.
Yeah.
You have people that are questioning whether their social level is up to par to
Hmm.
last. You know what I mean? And I feel like just the fact that Katie was so quiet, but she was a tentative ear to everything going on. She's like the encyclopedia player. You know what I mean? Like she's one of those ones that keeps a whole log of everything that's going on and then has those silent conversations, one-on-ones with people. But again, going back to what you were saying, we don't know that.
Because they don't show it. We don't have confessional. She's a
So
player.
that's where I
You
feel like the lack
need
for her character
confessionals.
arc was. Like I feel like it's important to not always have a loud
Because
a
I don't know.
loud
Well,
character.
it's like, okay, if you're not going to do confessionals, then you have to have all loud people. Because I don't know why Katie is backing down from, putting her thing in. I don't know
I
why
agree.
people
I
don't want
agree.
to vote for her. I don't know why Monica's not campaigning until the very last round. Like, nothing is making sense. And when you don't understand people's motivations,
Mhm.
you lose a little interest or you leave confused. Like, there's been great context we've been getting from the viewers post show, and I think that's another thing we got to talk about is other competition shows. There is a contract, and there was a competition show I was supposed to do a couple years ago.
Ooh, I know
Like,
where you're going with this one. Mhm.
major. I kind of have been dropping Easter eggs in my other things, so y'all should figure it out. But that show is extremely strict on what you can do on social media. You can't interact with the other castmates. You barely can be posting a lot. But it's like with Beast Games, when you have people that are doing TikTok lives with each other, or you have people being so in your face about being on the show. And then you look at Tyler, who's not really posting anything, and he doesn't look, and like, you can look at his other posts and you can see he's not the type to not post anything. It's like, okay, Tyler probably is the winner. The winner's probably not going to be in everyone's face like the other people are. And I saw a
Yeah,
video where
exactly.
a guy pieced that together.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and I will say this. I definitely want, for the entire, Beast Games team to really take that into consideration for season
Mhm.
3. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to hear from anyone until the show airs. I
Agreed.
don't want to see them on social media. I don't want to, like, unless they're just doing their regular life stuff. I don't want to see them doing
Yeah.
anything in affiliation to the show. And especially because, like, people for us that are like reality TV lovers, like, and well, I'm a reality TV lover, but I'm a gamer. Like, I'm a game
Yeah.
show lover. So, which wish me luck. I have an audition tomorrow. But you know what I
Hey.
mean? But like, I genuinely, I really feel like
Would you agree that the only things that they should be posting is either their real life, or remember how we would get packages in the email that was like, post this
yeah,
clip, post this,
yeah,
advertise the show. Like, that should be all you're doing is
yes,
your
that's,
life and
yeah.
advertising to watch the show, and maybe like a little thing about,
Yeah, I think that's
yeah.
kind of what I'm maybe comparing to, because of how we had that process. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
don't
they
flip it, but
figured
I
out.
love it when you flip your hair.
I well I
Sorry.
no, you're good. I feel like I'm shaggy.
I
But
love it.
I think that they figured that out, Queen. I think that they figured out that they need to stop because the top 10 out
It
of,
got put on a hard pause.
yes, they did. We were supposed to talk with Hannah, and Hannah said
Hmm.
I can't until the show is over.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what it is. So I think next season they will improve that. Um
Yeah.
so I but these are just our general gripes with the show. And it's
Yeah.
all from a place of love and constructive criticism. Like, we're not gonna be phony, and we're not gonna kiss ass just because
Nah.
we love Mr. Beast or they send us things like they sent us Jack Links. Like, we're gonna be honest because we want to see the show succeed. I don't want the show to end on season 3 because there's another
No.
show, Deal or No Deal Island, that
Hmm.
gave away money of the same magnitude as Beast Games, and it was popular, but it had to get axed by Peacock because it just cost too much money. And I would hate for Beast Games to go down a similar like route where Amazon
Yeah.
just pulls the plug.
Yeah, because like we know Amazon has locked them in for 3 seasons. So
Yeah.
I feel like season 1 brought out the numbers. I feel like season
Mhm.
2 brought out the legitimacy of
Yeah.
the series. And so I feel like season 3 is going to be a compilation of everything. I feel like,
Yeah.
the team is only going to get better as they progress. And
Definitely.
mind you, we're dealing with a very young Hollywood team. And because
Yes.
Jimmy gives a lot of opportunities, and just, like all of the, separate companies that they've partnered with, they really
Yeah.
give a lot of people, younger people, a lot of opportunities, like novice level.
Yes.
So I can give the production team grace, but at the
Yeah.
same time, there are some things that you just got to be a stickler about. But one of my favorite things about this season was the fact that there were so many players that walked away with more than $100,000.
I loved that. That's my favorite part of this
Yeah.
season is that I think he said he gave away a total of like $37 million or something,
Yeah, I
like
do think
cash and
I remember
prizes.
something like that. Yeah.
That's what we are expecting from Mr. Beast, that you're going to
Yeah.
give money to these people. I feel bad for the people that walked away with nothing, like Hannah walked away with nothing. Like the people that got to the top 6 all got nothing. But I mean that was their choice to risk their money. So I think it is valid, or however we
Yeah,
want to
I
put
get
it.
you. I get you. You didn't have to give away your money.
Yeah.
You could have still,
But it's an
yeah.
unforgettable experience, and they all got, I think, $5,000 was the minimum.
Yeah,
I like
that's what
that
I
they
heard. I'm not
did.
sure at what
Yeah.
level that was. Like,
It was
I think
top
that was the top 20.
well, it's top 20. They got the T-Mobile.
Yeah.
T-Mobile gave them the iPhone and the
Mhm.
warranty, I think, or the service, I think, for like 3 4 years, and the $5,000. So you gotta think about it. Like, if I walked away with that money, I'd be like, oh, okay, this was a great experience. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, I did like that so in the reunion episode from season 1, that's when we got the phones and the
Hmm.
T-Mobile surprise.
Hmm.
And then that's when they had the hot shot, for, to shoot for your chance for 60,000. And I know Moniece came away with some. I know
Oh yeah.
oh
Also
my God, what
maybe
was
uh
the one that got out in the
Kareem? Hakeem? No, Hakeem?
no, Hakeem, I think it
Hakeem.
is. I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is. And
But
then
maybe at the reunion they're gonna give
Courtney.
them
Was
they're
it
gonna
Courtney? No, not Courtney. Cornell. Cornelia. Sorry,
Oh
Cornell.
yeah.
Cornelia.
I love Cornelia.
Yeah, and so they won, some money. So it was like I love the fact that they incorporated it in the show because a lot of people didn't
Didn't watch the
know
reunion.
exactly. You know
Well,
what
they
I'm
need to,
saying?
if they're doing a reunion again, they need to put it on Amazon, not YouTube, because people still have no idea that there is a season one reunion on YouTube.
And I'm curious because I was thinking about that. There was something you said earlier when we were talking, and it made me think of the behind the scenes.
Hmm.
With John Uche. And so I'm just like, and that's where I was going with like Jimmy giving a lot of people opportunities. He's not being selfish. You know what I mean?
No.
And I think that that is a great thing. But at the same time, I think that managing, all of the rollouts, managing the promos, managing, the actual behind the scenes, and all of the editorial pieces, I think I think just like everything, there's room for growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think that that's kind of one of the big areas and opportunities. So, but I can say that as a season one player, since they did get their T-Mobile promos, in the show, I
Mhm.
am curious to see what's going to happen during the reunion for them. You know what I mean?
I think that there's going to be something. I don't know what, but
Hmm.
it's exciting to see. On that point, whenever people ask me about Mr. Beast, I always say I feel like he makes mistakes, but it's never out of malice. He makes mistakes because he doesn't think things all the way through. But from what I can see, him and his team have a big ass heart. Like
Absolutely.
I will never forget him chatting with me about how I was feeling when I was at my lowest. He didn't have to do that. There was no
Hmm.
camera. My mic
Hmm.
was off, so he wasn't getting anything out of it. It's not like those parody videos where people show him putting cameras in people's faces because they're crying. Like that was a real human moment that he didn't have to do. Carl did something similar. So
Yeah, I love
yeah,
Carl so much. Carl, we love
he's great. But Mr. Beast, he gives all these opportunities to people. He in the international versions, he brings in content creators that are like him in other countries to, be featured. Like that's a different level of effort. Like he didn't have to do that. That's
Yeah.
great. Like he really cares about the audience and the he wants to give back to social media people and younger people. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, so
Yeah, I kind of
that's
look at
great.
Jimmy in a similar fashion as far as like an entertainer, like Michael Jackson, because
Ooh, that's good. That's a good comparison, actually.
I'm being so serious because as far as like Michael Jackson was able to touch the world.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy is able to touch the world. And I feel like it's so crazy because one of the number one questions that I get asked about just my Beast Games experience is what's Jimmy like? I
Yeah.
promise you that's it. That is the top three. Like if it's not the first or the second question, it's always a question, like no
Oh,
matter
of
what.
course. I
And I feel
mean,
like
yeah.
one of the biggest things I've had to do is really put people like on to Jimmy in a way that the world hasn't perceived him. Like even one of the things that I love too, I am constantly attacking the trolls and defending, like he's this and he's associated with that. And I'm like, bro, do you realize that there are a lot of people in Hollywood, a lot of people in entertainment that have chosen to stick, to their morals, their path, and they're successful. You don't have to be, part of the whole like Illuminati and the demon cults
Well,
and,
he's
the,
clearly not. Like he's
you
clearly
know,
not on any of that when he really could
yeah.
be. Um, so uh, I guess okay, so I'm at such a loss of words. I feel bad that we haven't really talked about the episode itself. I really just don't know what to talk about. Like, I think the only other thing,
We
maybe Monica,
have. I
maybe
think we
Mo
have talked about it a lot. Just maybe not in the same fashion as like,
yeah,
season like episodes 1 through 3, because episodes 1 through 3, we had no idea what to expect. We had no idea who to talk about, what we didn't know
yeah.
the players, we didn't know anything. So we had so much content to discuss. But I feel like, the fact that we've all watched season 1, I mean, it would be a little redundant to talk about some of the challenges. Like, like I said, like I wanted Corey to win in the briefcase challenge. I thought that they were very creative in terms of how they decided to break the briefcases down as opposed to the way Jeff and Tawana did it. So,
Yeah.
I there's like small details that can be talked about, but they're kind of like they're not big highlight moments.
No.
They're more
And
like individual conversation type of things. So
I wouldn't be surprised if most people didn't get through the episode because Kalshi had Tyler winning literally from the beginning of the season. It was like a 99% chance that Tyler was going to be the winner. Um,
mm,
I will say that I think the briefcase challenge worked a lot better this time because it didn't end the first go around.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hope it's retired after this. I think it's been done. I don't think we need to do it again. I really
Yeah, I want to see the
yeah.
final two competitors do something different.
I,
Like
yeah.
Jimmy, the $5 million check, I get that. You know what I mean? But put it in something else. And I mean, and I mind you, like I get Jimmy's,
What if it
he
was a
has like
race? What if it was a race to the like could you imagine if okay, you're in Saudi Arabia, you're in or that's where they are, right?
I believe so. I thought they were at Beastland, right?
They're
Yeah.
at yeah, they have all these Ferraris. Why don't you like rent out an area and have them racing through the city to get to Beastland? Like almost Amazing Race like. And these
Or even like how they
Ferraris.
have like the Mario Kart, like they,
Yeah, like Mario Kart
they have those popping up in cities everywhere. So
or
you know what I mean? But
Beastland. Like they
yeah.
didn't really utilize Beastland, I didn't feel.
I agree.
There's
I thought that's a good
there
I
was
like
a
that.
missed opportunity. We talked about this. I thought the games were going to be what things that were in Beast City or Beast or in
Yeah.
Beastland
Beastland.
when
Yeah.
people went there. And there was all these different really cool games. So I don't know. I feel like maybe because they had so many people to manage that they didn't put as much thought into the games themselves or I would really love to know. I know that there's someone we might be able to interview that can give us insight on like what the thought process was in these games.
I definitely agree. I think that if we can pull on, someone that can maybe answer some of these questions for us, then I think that it would fill the gaps. It would fill the
Yeah.
gaps.
I think really the only other moment to talk about with this finale is Monica. It kind of stinks that like the most epic moment we talked about Tyler in August. That was the moment of the finale for me. But we talked about
Yeah, it was like shit.
yeah, but with Monica, it was a little cringy the way that she revealed that she took 500K, but it
It
made me think
was.
everyone knew because when she revealed it, not as many people were surprised. They kind of just were like, "This is why you lost," and Nick was like, "You're like this, you're this, that, the third." I don't know. I think at the end of the day, her lie came back to bite her, or at least I think she just shouldn't have told Jim because Jim must have done something to accidentally reveal it. I think maybe they didn't vote for her because they knew or assumed that she had money already. So, just
Yeah,
the way they
I
reacted.
agree with that. I think there's like multi levels with that. I feel like one, okay, you're gonna leave with a partner, so whatever you
Mhm.
guys leave with, like no matter whether you guys stay together or not, right now in the moment, we're all thinking that whatever you guys take home, you're sharing,
Yeah.
right? So there's that. Then I feel like Monica made the mistake. I feel like her first mistake in hindsight now, because even I had thought to take $0 at first, but I think in hindsight now, I feel like her biggest mistake was not taking any money. And because
Mhm.
it was like,
Actually, no, you know what, Queen? I don't necessarily think that was the mistake. I think the mistake was taking no money and then not saying that you sold the coin. The way she could have sold this is that, hey, I took no money because I wanted you guys to have something. So instead of taking money, I sold the coin. And I
and I'm
think
gonna tell you right now,
people
fuck
wouldn't have been
that. If they
angry.
would have found out she had half a fucking $1 million, she would have been gone and she never would have made it.
Well,
She
but
wouldn't
it
have
was
made
the
it.
same outcome. I think that they knew that she wasn't.
So that's
Yeah.
the reason why I'm saying if for her, like for the way she was trying to play, like she was
Oh.
trying to be deceptive and she
Oh,
was
so maybe
trying.
she shouldn't have sold the coin at all.
No, fuck that. She could have sold the coin, but she should have taken some money from the pot and never told Jimmy and acted like she still had the coin. And then I feel like it would have been a thing if she'd been like, well, then like put her hand in her pocket, like, well, I still have the coin. Like, like there's very
Well,
like,
I
she
think
didn't
they
have to say it a
figured it
lot,
out.
but
I think they figured it out because he always was offering money and for her to sell it and he just stopped doing it. So that was
but
part of it.
that's also because she took no money. If you remember, August was like, So the fact that she didn't take any money, but she still had the coin, he's like, that doesn't sound right. Like, I'm telling you, the fact that she didn't take any money was a big red
Oh no, it
flag.
definitely no,
You know what I mean?
it
Yeah.
definitely helped because why
And she
would you
didn't
take
sell it. I don't think she sold, like,
no,
she
she's not a good
initiated the
liar.
sale. She initiated the sale, but she didn't close the sale.
But I think just the function of the game that Jimmy is always offering her money, if she would have had this whole lie, even if she was like fucking Meryl Streep, the second that Jimmy
I love
comes out,
her. The Devil Wears Prada
yeah,
2 coming out in May. Okay, I
I'm
know they're not
excited.
like
But even if
paying us
like
for that,
she
but I love it.
acted her ass off, Queen, when Jimmy comes out and does not offer her 1 million, let's say, or even
Hmm.
500,000, I would be thinking, why is he not offering her the coin? This is the last opportunity. He's been doing it every episode. What would be the reason? So I think either you're going to sell the coin and be honest about it, or you hold on to the coin and play the martyr or whatever. I think there just was no in between.
I
And
hear you, but I also don't. I
yeah.
feel like you're giving the cast that we actually watched. I feel like you're giving them too much credit in thinking that they would have thought like
Oh,
us.
well, I think that she was screwed from the second that she made her choice to get rid of
Yeah.
the girls. I mean, we said it in the
Yeah. No, you
episode.
know what? Now that's that. Yeah. Now
We
I'll
said
put
it.
it to
We
you. Know what?
yeah,
That's a good. That was one thing. I'm so glad you brought that up because I did want to bring that up too. Okay, so we
yeah.
talked about the dad dynamic and we talked about the repeat of some of the players and it feeling the same.
I think the only other thing with this episode is that Jack getting jumped the way that he did really surprised me. I was
I wasn't surprised because I told you from the
yeah.
beginning. I said that I told you
He was at the bottom of their
I told you
alliance.
he was at the
Yeah,
bottom. I
he
kept
was
telling you that.
disposable.
But no, I don't
So
want to lose my
I
thought.
yeah,
The
so let's talk about the what her decision to fuck the girls over and how it ruined her game.
I thought that that was something that I think that from both seasons is something that viewers and like future players need to take heed to.
Yes.
So like the decision making process, granted, faith is faith, God driven, things like that. Some things are out of control. I get it. But when the power is in your hands, ladies, you are every single time choosing the men. And I feel like from a psychological perspective, like from an experimental perspective, I feel like it's so interesting that in both seasons you have women siding with the men. So I feel like, nature versus nurture. I feel like, there Darwinism, survival of the fittest. Like I feel like there's such a like a true rooted, like instinctual, like force, for women
There
to
is.
feel inferior and want to, attach themselves, to men because
Like
they
they
feel like
need the men.
yes. And so I think that that's a testament also to like how you were saying some of the challenges, are set up in ways that, for them to not be broken. And I remember distinctly in season 1, Klitzner and, and Tyler were like, do not break the
Break the
game.
games
And I
because it
feel like
ruins the show.
it does it though. I feel like at
Oh
this
no,
point,
it does. When they just do group thought or they just play it
no, but
safe.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about would it really break the game if they did it in the way that we've been talking about, like for
Oh,
like
but I
making the
don't
change
consider that breaking the game. The
exactly.
way that what I consider breaking the game
Thank
is
you.
when you make the game really easy and predictable and you take the fun out of it.
Exactly.
I think what it is
Exactly.
that I think Monica was a little arrogant, and I think that she thought because she was so good at these games, yeah, I think because she was so good at these challenges, she had Jim with her, she thought she was untouchable. The
I
reality
agree to
is,
that. I agree. I feel like they kind of even said something similar to that in some
yeah,
BTS. But yeah.
the reality is that they've talked about it that Katie with a C and then Tyler and Briley, oh God, I remembered their names. Thank you. Were agreed by everyone that they were going to be the boot. If it is a unanimous choice for these three to go, you need to be asking yourself, why are they the unanimous choice? And then you realize, oh, the guys all are sleeping together. Not like that, but like they're all in the same
What you mean?
cabin.
Yeah, yeah.
They all hang out with each other. They're all pretty buddy buddy. So
Hmm.
odds are if there is a distinct target that everyone's
Hmm.
going after, there's probably an alliance or a friendship. It's not a friendship when you're in a game, it's an alliance. There's probably something bigger going on where they're trying to keep the target off of them. And Monica not realizing that
Exactly. It was
was her
such a
downfall.
I agree. It was such a disappointment because she really I'm gonna be honest, she really could have won the game.
She could have.
She really could have won Beast Games and been the Beast Games champion. But
Yeah.
people could probably say, well, Queen, you could have been it too. Had,
Yeah.
there's always the
Yeah.
what ifs, but I just can say that those are moments that I don't want to see repeated. I don't want to see
No.
the whole bro alliance making it all the way through again in season
Again.
3. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be so turned off.
Well, a child, that was why I was targeting the Avengers so hard in season 1. I saw that that was what was going down, and there's no bond stronger than a brotherhood. There isn't.
Mhm.
Sisterhoods,
Mhm.
I wish they were, but they just are not as strong,
Let me tell you
unfortunately.
something. That's the reason why I never got into a serious relationship with a woman, because I was just like, there is no way in hell.
Yeah.
I'm not downplaying women at all, but like
I think
there
women are
is.
trained to be competitive with each other, which is something we have to unlearn. I'm not saying it's right, but it's the facts.
No, you literally took the words right out of my mouth. I
Yeah.
was literally going to say there is a lack of camaraderie with women. I experienced it in life. I experienced it in Beast Games.
Yeah.
I like the first time and opportunity, you know what I mean, where, I think that there was a lot of opposition with trying to get like the boy club out, like in season
Mhm.
1 was like the helicopter round. But there were like, for someone like
But
myself.
people were too pussy. I was the only person that was willing to stand up and I left. So I take a lot of blame, honestly, for them being able to get through. I feel a lot of guilt about it.
There's 3 ways that people are tackling Beast Games. There's I'm sticking to myself as an individual, I'm
Yes.
sticking with my team,
Hmm.
or I'm sticking with a particular category, right?
Yeah,
So, you
I
know what I
feel
mean?
that.
And so, like, team, because there could be multiple different types of people with diversity, but then the category, it's like, oh, we're all athletes, we're all, jigsaw
Well,
puzzlers, you
and
know what I mean?
that's the
Whatever.
fault of Casting Queen. And that's why I'm excited for season 3 because
Yes.
self-segregation is real in these games.
Yes.
I
We've even seen it
Yeah.
in robots. Like, I mean, did
Yes.
anybody see iRobot? Remember the robots
Yes.
formed together? It's an instinctual
And
thing.
and when I say self-segregation, I'm not just talking race because this was all white people in the finale. But
Well, I mean,
it could
is
be
Tyler? Well,
is
let's
he?
talk
Well,
about
I
that
don't know.
too.
Well, it white presenting.
Exactly, and
But it can
that's yeah.
self-segregation goes a lot of different ways. Self-segregation can go by race, it can go by gender, it can go by age, it can
Mhm,
go by occupation, it can go
mhm.
by even just like fat versus thin or muscular
That
versus
is a
not,
thing,
pretty
okay? Because a lot
privilege,
of
like
people want to exclude the fat people, thinking they're not able to
all
do
of
this and
these
that.
all of these things come into play and it
Hmm.
doesn't and it's not it's colorblind and it's blind to everything. It can go towards anything. It can be white people ganging up, it could be older people ganging up, it could be gay people ganging up, it can be any of those things. So
Hmm.
when you're casting a show like this, you need as much diversity in mindset, in looks, in any demographic. You need that difference, or else you're going to get a result where the dominant, uh I don't want to say race, I don't want to say, how about the dominant
The
demographic,
dominant group, you know what I mean? Like,
the dominant demographic
demographic, yeah, the
and
dominant
the
group.
and the dominant demographic in this season was older dads and guys that have like almost like a father-son relationship with that was like this little
Yeah,
brotherhood. That was what was the dominant demographic in this
yeah.
competition, and they
I'm
won.
not gonna lie, because it was like, okay, when thinking about champions, we're just comparing Jeff and Tyler. There's not a lot of contrast outside
No.
of Jeff having a child that has, at this time, a quote unquote incurable disease. But I don't feel like anything is incurable. I feel like you just have to figure it out. And I feel like that's what the whole goal is. And
Yeah.
actually, let's say this too, just a little moment of positivity.
Mhm.
Shout out to season 1 and season 2 players for supporting
Ruck for Ray.
Jack. Jesus, supporting Jack, for
Jeff.
supporting Jeff on his Ruck for Rare. Like,
Oh, Ruck for Rare. Yeah.
yeah, I am. I'm just. I love the way
That's
that. I
great.
mean, Jeff. Jeff needs to be like, a creative producer, because I love the way that he's doing the Rep for Rare this time with the
Yeah.
players. I love the diversity, and I'm just cheering them on. I love that. There is. a grander money aspect now. There's more people donating, which obviously is going to come because more people know his cause. But I feel like that is the whole point. That is a moment of success. And I just want to really, shout out to Jeff, shout out to, creatine.info. Like, you guys are really, really, setting strides and getting, the awareness out. And I'm really proud of everybody for like coming together, because that is a cause. Like,
Yes.
Tyler, he is
It's
a
great.
family man, and he is
But that's it.
well, he's a military man. He is an Air Force, military man. And I think that that's something cool to gravitate to. But again, I feel
I
like
don't really give a fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
I hear you, but to make your point about the confessionals, I feel like it could have created more of a diversity if we got to know a little bit more of where these people are coming from,
Well,
and
yeah,
where,
what if
you know
he
what I'm saying?
said, this
So
is reminding me of, what if
just
we
to
got,
correlate it, bring it together.
yeah, what if we got a moment where he's like, I feel like I'm back in the barracks and these are like my brothers, like the soldiers I fought with, and when I lose them, it's like losing a friend in the war. Like, I don't know what his experience was, or if he even fought in a war, or if he was just like an army person.
I mean, everybody had physical training. Everybody has, drills.
Yeah.
So, as a military brat, I already know, like,
But
it's easy
it's
to,
like,
be relevant.
The only thing I know about Tyler, and it's not the job of a viewer to like really research these people. You got to think that viewers are giving the most minimal attention as possible. So it's like, when I compare the two of them, Jeff had, even before season two, and season two gave him a lot of development, but Jeff had more of a story. Like, oh, it's the dad with the son with, but I would even argue that even if Jeff didn't have a son with the creatine deficiency, I still found Jeff to be interesting in the
Yeah,
way
I
that he
agree.
played
Well,
the
because
game.
he was very passionate and emotional. I definitely think Tyler,
Yeah, was
like
not
I'll
that.
put it to you like this: out of the top three, out of Tyler, Corey, and Brett, I mean, Corey was the only one that was very emotional. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and I feel like that's the reason. Like, one thing that I saw post, finale, a lot of people seemed like they wanted, Corey to really win. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
I feel like the difference between season one and season two, like that whole voting thing, with them saying, like with them creating the vote and figuring out who the top three, who that third person is that should go. And it was Tawana. I thought that was an interesting contrast with the top three that we didn't have in season two.
Well, why
Because
didn't they show why? That's, again, confessionals would have been important because as a viewer, I mean, I knew what was going on behind the scenes and why people are not fans of her. But as a viewer, it made no sense to me that Tawana was the vote. So, and here's the thing. I don't think Tyler is undeserving of his win. I don't even think Tyler is a bad player. There were
agreed. But we're just trying to talk about the breakdowns of the things that can make the show great.
Yeah.
Like beyond the numbers, like creating a legacy, because that's what we're trying to do right now at this point.
We need to know what Tyler is thinking. And I'm not saying you need to make the show about Tyler, because then it's obvious he's going to win. But his moment, it was like the moment of the season when he betrayed August. August was a strong competitor. He may have taken the whole fucking thing. So when you knocked him out, it pretty much guaranteed Tyler was going to get to the final three or even final two.
Yeah.
But I can't give him the credit because I don't know why the fuck he did it, and it felt very random.
Well, he did say afterwards, when like they did show him and he said, dude, he's like, you were my biggest competition. He did say that. So
I think that's a bullshit reason, though. I think the reason,
but I get what you're saying. You want the breakdown of,
yes, because I don't think it was
you.
just that you were my biggest competition, because I think Corey was competition. I think Brett was competition. I think that all of the guys left were competition. I think what it is that August was doing too much shit talking. August was doing too much scheming, like, come on, man, you got to go for Hannah. Come on, we got to gang up on Jack. Come on,
you know what? That would have been cool if Tyler was like, you know what? He is my bro, but he's just starting to rub me the wrong way. Like, that would have been cool. That would have been.
That's all we needed.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
And they must have known that was going into his decision, because I can infer that may have been the moment where Tyler decided to flip, because they were showing August saying all of these things, but it doesn't get driven home if we don't hear it coming out of Tyler's mouth.
I hear you. And then, there's another thing too with the top three. So like when they had to choose, so I thought it was cool with the whole smoke screen and, them putting their finger on there.
Yeah.
But I agree. I feel like there should have been more of a social inclusion there. I just think that the way I don't know. I don't know. I'll put it to you like this. if we, I can see why maybe now you said to go with 100 people because I feel like episode 10 was rushed in season 2. I feel like in season 1 it wasn't. I feel
Yeah.
like in season 1 it was very like, like well thought out, but I feel like in season 2 it did seem rushed to me a little bit
I'm not gonna
because
hold you. The episode structure this season made no sense because you had like 2 or 3 episodes that were wasted, in my opinion, and it left, like you said, a rushed finale.
yeah, I'm curious. Again, I'm curious to understand what were the deciding factors that made season 1 different from season 2. Who was involved? What was the thought process like of the production team? One other thing too that I feel like is not included really too heavily in the behind the scenes or in the show are the guards,
Oh
right?
yeah, they weren't really a thing
Are the
except for
Wranglers. And then
yeah.
even season 1, it was I'm Jimmy and these are my 5 friends. Season 2 was not like that at all.
I think Queen this season was them trying to over edit and correct the critiques of season 1.
I
I think
agree. And
yeah,
I feel like they forgot what made season 1 successful.
because they were so focused on fixing things. Oh, we're gonna have things be more competitive,
Yeah.
but they don't have any rhyme or reason behind them. Oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna look at these challenges. What was wrong with these challenges? Let's make them better. Okay, but we've already seen this. Like, it's gonna feel weird. Oh, we're gonna have a team
Yeah.
this time, smart versus strong. But when you only are including smart versus strong, and like the audition process is like, for those of you that don't know, the audition process for season 2 was like having to film yourself doing like you had to answer like a quiz and you had to do all this crazy things. Like, the most interesting people are not going to be able to do that. You're eliminating people by having those requirements. What's really important is having interesting people, and that's why we were left with filler. And unfortunately, I think there was more interesting people that got knocked out before the game got real.
I can definitely see that. I mean, there were interesting people, for sure in season 1 that would have made great TV if they made top 10 as well. So, you know what I mean? Like, but I definitely feel like from a casting perspective, I mean, and it's not even an unconscious bias because if I was watching both shows, like season 1 would still be my favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even just from like just the perspectives from like random people that I've never met in my life, fans of
Yeah.
the show, fans of me, things like that, they're like, why weren't you on the show? Why didn't this happen? What happened with this? Like, why did they bring back these 10 players? Like, there's so many questions, that came into play that I agree. Like, we got lost somewhere, like, after,
I think
a few
yeah.
episodes. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
that they are thinking from the perspective of YouTube of like, oh, smart versus strong, the smartest people, the strongest people. Like, oh, that's gonna bring in people, almost like a YouTube thumbnail or like a hook. Like, I'm in social media strategy now, so I understand that. But when you're doing a competition show or any type of like televised show, you don't need that draw. Like, people are going to tune in for a long, if people are going to dedicate to watching an episode, they don't need some type of like catchy thing to grab onto. The reason why season 1 had a much more interesting final group of people is because it was anyone could play. So out of 2,000 people, I think almost everyone in that 2,000 had some type of story, had some type of thing to bring to the table. And you know what, too, Queen? I hate to
Hmm.
say it. I didn't feel any desperation or desire, like, I need this money.
Oh,
I
you know
need
what?
it.
You know what?
I didn't feel it. I did not feel it at all.
I fucking agree.
Yeah.
You know what? And you know what? I think that that is the biggest. Oh, you're so smart. I love you.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the biggest things that I didn't see in season 2. And
Yeah.
it was like, and so to go through season 1 as a player and to hear people's backstories, like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, nobody had like an extremely crazy story. Like, so we compare
Yeah.
Mia. She's
Yeah.
like, I lost my house when like we heard specifics as to why people were there.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, oh, I'm here to win for my family. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I feel like that was almost like I'll put
Well,
it to you like this. I
I
agree
don't
with you
think
so
that they
bad
had I
because
don't think that they had a reason, Queen.
that's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
she yeah.
I can't differentiate between everyone's reason, like why were they there. In my
Yeah.
mind, they were all there for their families and to make their lives better.
Yeah, you got to think about it. If
Like, except
someone,
for Nick. Nick was the
yeah,
only one that had that, hard knock life,
yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying, edit. Like that, but that's it.
Yeah, but you
Like,
got to think
essentially.
if someone has the time to get super duper ripped and be one of the strongest people on earth, and if someone has the credentials to be coveted as one of the smartest people on earth, there is a disconnect economically because someone that is maybe not as someone that doesn't have a lot of money, they probably aren't going to have the time or resources to go to the gym or to eat really good or to go to some fancy school. So
Hmm.
you're eliminating a whole sector of people that are probably going to be the most interesting because they need the money.
Well, yeah, I mean, resources are a thing, your environments are a thing, statistically, city kids are less educated, and
Yeah.
have less resources than suburban kids, so like we said, there's so many different demographics that play into who these characters are
Mhm.
that needs to be taken in consideration during casting.
Yeah, and it's almost like a whole demographic of people were not in the running. It's part of why Jeff Probst has gone on record saying he doesn't do Survivor themes anymore. Like they used to do white collar, blue collar, no collar, brain, brawn, beauty. They don't want to do that anymore because when you have a theme, it restricts casting. And if you have a really great personality and you're like, I
Mhm.
really want them on the show, but they don't fit the theme, now you can't put them in there.
I agree. It
Yeah.
creates yeah, you're shooting yourself in the foot before you even get to hit record.
Even this
Mhm.
international thing, like I want to hope that they're going to get actual people from other countries, but you're going to have a really hard time. Like because you
I don't
need,
think so. 150 million plus people, and I'll say this respectfully, majority of those numbers came from viewers around the world, not from America. I
well,
genuinely feel like the opportunity is there. Will they take advantage and seize
well,
it? That's the
you
question.
got to think it's not, I think the numbers will be there. There's going to be people
Exactly.
that
Right. I
apply,
agree. I agree.
but I take a look at RuPaul Drag Race versus
Hmm.
the world. They have UK versus the world, Canada versus the world. And the queens that come from countries that are not English speaking are at a severe disadvantage because there's less of them. Because there may be a really great queen from Drag Race France, but if they don't speak English, you can't have them on an English speaking show. They also now have to translate everything in their head. So
Hmm.
they may not give you the same amount of entertainment that they would in their original language. So it's like, are they going to be able to find what, maybe 100, 200 people from these different countries that English is not the first language that are not only able to speak English, but are able to be
Hmm.
charismatic in English? That's where I worry for them.
I feel you on that. Speaking of other countries, I wanted to tell you so bad, and I was like, okay, what's the the Asian like comparison that you always talk about Beast Games too? It's like
Oh, the
um
influencer, the South Korea show.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's I think that's the one you're talking about. But
Yes.
like, and they go and they're doing like so many different like physical things, and you know what I mean, or whatever, right? Is that the one?
Oh, well, physical things, you might be thinking of Physical 100, but I use the influencer as an example because they were doing YouTube things and the way
No,
they
no,
formatted the
not
game.
that. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't that. It was I think it's Physical 100. I think
If you,
that's the one.
where all the strong people are there and they have to do
Yes.
different physical games, yeah, it might probably be.
Yeah. I was thinking about that too in hindsight because we talked about that in our recaps. And one, I did know what you were talking about. I just completely forgot. I just didn't
Mhm.
know the title. I'm bad with trivia, like with things like that.
Yeah.
We'll see how my next audition goes. But
Oh, we'll have to
with,
kiki
with
about
with
that.
that being said, but like I thought it was very interesting because I did once I saw the show you were talking about, I was like, oh my God, Dylan was so spot on with that.
Yeah.
I think that that is a comparable, TV show that Beast Games can really take some, some insight to. I
Yeah.
also do think that now that Beast Games has this Survivor partnership, I'm being very positive in expecting that Jimmy is
Jeff
going to
Probst
be,
can
yeah, I feel
help.
like Jimmy is going to be mentored, in this reality TV show world to a different level. Because I mean, Jimmy is a self-made man
Yeah.
that started his career on YouTube. And I don't think that he ever had the anticipation of things going in the direction that they've gone. I just think he
No.
knew he was going to be great. I think he knew he was going to
Yeah.
be big. I think he knew that he had what it would take to get to a certain level. And I feel like he's always felt that with inside, even whether, everybody has doubts, everybody has those down, moments, where they're, lacking, confidence, things like that. I'm talking about overall. And I feel like Jimmy is going to be given the opportunity to allow Beast Games to create that legacy, because I feel like regardless of the outcome of season 2, people still watch. All news is good news. Good, bad, ugly,
Yes.
truth, whatever, right?
Well, and we want people to be talking about it. And I think another thing they did wrong was trying to compete with Survivor 50 for their finale. Because I haven't seen people talking as much about the show because there is so much intersect with Survivor now.
I agree.
With the
Yeah.
fan base. Like I couldn't recap on Wednesday because I was at Rizzo, who's on this season of Survivor. He's been my friend since college. I was at his watch party for the thing, and there was all these events going on in New York City, which were awesome. So they need to, I don't know, they just maybe just think things a little bit more through. We hopefully will get a chance to talk to Klitzner, who is a main game runner. Like we are going to work
Executive
on that.
producer. Yeah.
Yes, we talked with him about maybe setting something up. So I hope that when we get to talk to him that we can maybe express these things if he will still have a part with the next season or in some capacity be with them. Maybe the information could get passed along. And because I do have to give a kudos to the Beast team. I know that they watch us. I know that they hear us.
Yes, no, yeah, no, big hearts to you guys.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, like, and just even beyond that, like, the Beast Game community,
Mhm.
like family, it's a
great.
real thing. It's a
Yeah.
real thing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, I forgot. So I will set the record straight, and I will say that one of the biggest takeaways from season 2 for me from a personal level,
Mhm.
was me wanting to reconnect with JC.
Oh, you guys made up?
I reached out to him. I know a lot of people questioned whether he was genuine or not with,
Yeah, like me.
the stories, the apology, all that stuff, how he acted in the cube and things like that. But I feel like I genuinely did get to know who JC is. I just feel like there was so many things that interfered with our friendship. And I reached out to him and I told him that I forgive him because I genuinely felt where he was coming from from a true place.
Yeah.
Maybe it had to come out in the way that it did with Jeff, initiating the conversation, because for TV purposes,
Oh, well, did you
that was the
see?
way it had to do it. But I was just proud of him because, like a Brett, he's not, it's uncomfortable for him, or before Beast Games, it was very uncomfortable for him to articulate and feel confident in how he was
Yeah.
articulating who he was and how he felt.
Well,
So
Queen, did you see Ava and Ivy talk with him? And he said that he was I don't know if he is still, but he was pissed at Jeff he felt like Jeff didn't want him to win the money, and Jeff was throwing him under the bus.
I can say that if I was a defending Beast Games champion, I have in my mind who I would want to be my successor.
Oh no, I meant the Survivor Island.
I know.
Tribal Council.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Yeah.
But I feel like in his mind, Jeff does not feel that JC was maybe ready to win it all.
Like maybe JC wasn't ready to get more money. And maybe
not
JC just doesn't
even more money, but again, like, Jeff has strong values.
Yeah.
And I just think that wisdom doesn't always come with age. And I feel like,
No.
The big brother, in Jeff, I feel like he was creating a teachable moment that was already maturating.
Yeah.
So I think that
Maybe JC just doesn't see it yet. That it wasn't meant maliciously. It was meant like lovingly.
Which, there you go. Tough love is hard to decipher between whether
Yeah.
someone actually cares or whether they, lack. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
I can say, as someone who had a very hard time in season one differentiating what emotions I should apply, where, how I was really feeling. It is hard, and some
Oh
things
yeah.
like one of the things that I've when I heard him say it, and he was like, "I've had a lot of time to." He said, "I've had a lot of time to think, Jeff." I believed him. I felt that, and I felt
You
it in a
did.
way.
You did. You said that.
I felt that in a way because I have had a lot of time to think and
Mhm.
reflect. You know what I mean? And I think that the world needs to know that, again, when you are coming from a world where there's so many distractions and so many interferences, and you're constantly influenced by your environment, by the people that you have to the left and to the right of you, going into Beast Games when you don't have any of that, it is, only the strongest people who have either the, deepest desire, you know what I mean, because of what they've come from and the things they've gone through, to want to like make it that far. I feel like, it goes hand in hand. You know what I mean? But
And he had the desire. And that's
yeah,
what I love. That's why he was
yeah.
so interesting. Again, this cast, I didn't feel that. So I think the last thing we can do, like,
Yeah, in this cast, yeah. It wasn't there.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. So
Damn, Dylan.
I think the last I think the last thing we should do is
Uh-huh.
look back at this cast and just give our brief final thoughts on them. So I
Mm-hmm.
I think we could go with we could go with the top six because we kind of already talked about the top 10 or the people
Yeah.
that got out. So sixth place was Jack. So what are our final thoughts on Jack? He got eliminated in the ball toss. He got blindsided by his team. He was one of the ones actually that I did feel the desire from because he was I could tell he felt very personally betrayed when they did what they did to him. I felt that in my soul.
I agree. I mean, and also he's young. He's the youngest player.
Yeah.
So, or was one of them. So I also feel like, um, you know, when you naturally with age, experiences are an automatic thing that come into play, maybe not
Yeah.
necessarily wisdom. So, I think that with Jack, he maybe hasn't had so many experiences to, to feel betrayal. You know what I mean? So like,
This might have been the first time that he
you know what I
really
mean?
felt it.
Or even to this magnitude.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I definitely feel like he was one of the most like, I'm here to win it. I'm here to prove it. Like, I want this so bad. Like, he even said it.
He was
Like
a competitor.
yeah, a lot of people, even in their, moments and opportunities, they didn't say it, which
Yeah.
everything matters in the game. Everything matters. What you tell yourself, what you're telling other people, and what you're telling yourself in your head.
And
Like, what
how
you're
you
saying
make
out
people
loud,
feel.
what you're
He
telling
ma-
people, and what you're
yeah.
saying in your head, you
He
know?
made people feel good. And
Yeah.
that is why he got to the top six. And I think he could have won. I would say Jack is someone I don't think I need him on Beast Games again. I need him to go on Big Brother or Survivor. He has a great strategic mind. I want to see him in a game where he can really put that to use.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't be against seeing him on Beast Games again. I would be interested to see him maybe 3 years from now, 4 years from now, when he's a little older, like maybe when he's done with school. I feel like he'd have a big transformation and would be a
I think
force
that
to
would
be
be a
reckoned with.
really dope dynamic to compare to,
Yeah.
like, because people love seeing people grow up. I mean, hell, that's the reason why Jimmy is just so popular in itself. They
Yeah.
watched him, from, preteen, you know what I mean, to
Hmm.
now, he's a grown ass man about to be,
Yeah.
a husband, and, he's creating a legacy
He
of his
has grown.
own, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, I think that that is a true and honest reflection of Jack. I would love to see him in other games. But I do feel like he's left a strong mark, of who he was on Beast Games for sure.
And I think they will be willing to use him again.
Yeah, like I could see him being in one of the YouTube videos.
Oh
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, and yeah. I mean, and mind you, he was great entertainment. He was great entertainment from a personality
He was
perspective.
not filler. He was a
No,
great
no.
character.
Yeah, he gave main character energy,
Yeah.
from the get-go. Very proud of him. Still think that what he did to Sue was shady, but I
We'll see at the
understand it.
reunion.
Yeah, look, I understand it, and I still think he had a great game.
Another person that I felt that way with was August, who was fifth place. And August, we talked about his moment already. But
Hmm.
so August to me was a villain, and we need a villain in these games. He was one of the only ones that was like really trying to be strategic, really trying to make a big swing. I think with August, his mistake was he didn't have a lot of tact. He was very, it was very transparent to see what he was doing, and it might be why Tyler betrayed him. But I appreciate his presence on the show. He was driving drama. He was driving the story. He had good talking heads, and
Hmm.
I would like to see him maybe back on Beast Games, maybe on a different show. I appreciated his presence this season.
Yeah, August to me gave very dominant in a passive aggressive way. Like,
Ooh, yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like
good.
he was really from as far as like a level of awareness, he was one of my favorite players as far as like,
Ooh,
things not really getting past him.
hmm,
I did notice that a lot, but I do think that he also came off a little too strong in the end, and I think that that's what came to his demise because I did notice a change in his gameplay where
hmm,
he was like playing passive aggressively, and then he just kind of like at the end just went full blown aggressive. So it was like
yeah,
that was where I saw his desire and want to win at the very, very, very end. But then it doesn't give the same effect, like like with a player like Jack, where he's been saying it from day one, and you kind of feel that
yeah,
he's been coming from a place of like, I want this because I can see I can see how it's going to
yeah.
change my life and everyone that I love's life.
Well, August was invisible for the first half of the game, so that might be part of it. And but he also was just in a really good position. Like the way that Beast Games is set up, there's people that are able to not really do anything most of the game,
Hmm.
and they can
Hmm.
just sail to the end.
I know.
Yeah. I think that August maybe start. I see what you're saying about him getting paranoid. I think that after his plan didn't work and it took so long for him to actually get through, and he almost didn't get through, I think
Hmm.
that fucked with his head, and that was why he was playing so paranoid
Hmm.
towards the end. I think he's got the strategy. It's just he doesn't have the riz, if you will, to sway people to actually pull his moves off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He lacks the charm or like the charisma to like swoon. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
He
yeah.
don't got that.
Well, at least in Beast games, he wasn't able to show it. How about that?
Oh, this is all in Beast games. Yeah,
At
this
least
is
in
not
Beast,
about the.
just
Yeah.
give him a little kudos. I will say, I loved his hair.
Oh yeah, he's got great style.
He's
He's
got
got
great
good
hair. I
hair.
love the curls. As a curly girl, I love the hair. I
Yeah.
love the hair. I love the hair.
The next player to me was maybe the most underrated player of the season, Hannah. So Hannah got out fourth. All the guys ganged up on her. The
Last woman standing,
yeah, you
shorty.
got to remember Hannah was the only one in that top six. I mean, she wasn't just the only woman. She's the only one that was not in that five-person bro alliance. She also was the last brain standing. What impressed me with Hannah was number one, turning down $1 million. I always will give kudos to someone. You really got to believe in yourself to be like, I'm not going to take the million because I'm going to win the 5 mil. Then she went all in with her money and she used it to get herself to the top. She beat out someone with an alliance that was running the game. She got herself to the finals. Then, when you are about to get ganged up on by everyone, the fact that they went for Jack before her says something to me. Then, the fact that you were
That's a good
able,
call out. I love that.
yeah, she
Hmm.
was able to change people's minds when they were going to go for her. Like there was around, I think Corey or Brett or someone, they felt so bad that they didn't end up shooting for her. And then when the time came, I think Tyler could have gotten her out, but instead he chose to take out August. And hearing that Tyler maybe would have helped Hannah in the final four if she was the first person to go up again, she must have done some type of work to get these guys, or at least Tyler, thinking maybe I should go against my alliance. Maybe I should bring this girl to the final.
Yeah.
So kudos to you, Hannah. You're a major Survivor fan, and you proved that you have the strategy to win a show or even to go on Survivor at some point. So I'm so happy for her. She did great.
No, I agree. I will say this, just from a girls comparison,
Mhm.
Hannah was fearless.
Yeah.
She was dominating. She had a presence where you couldn't ignore her. She
Mhm.
was honorable. She was trustworthy. Like she was the ultimate package for
Yes.
me. Like for me, I could say my top three would have been Corey, Hannah, and I guess Tyler, since I obviously guessed him throughout the season. But like, if I excluded Tyler, then I would probably do mm, out of the rest of them. I mean, I could probably say Jack.
I would have been
Ironically,
interested in that top three.
ironically, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that if Hannah would have stayed in the top three, or I think that would
It
have
would
made.
have made me want to watch if she was
I
the
agree. It would have made.
because
It would have gave such a different ending. You know
even
what I
if she
mean?
got out at third, I would have
Mhm.
still been more interested in the final two. It's just that you had all three of these guys get there, and I was like, ugh, whatever.
You're just kind of like, all right, one of the guys went. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah, there's no
Yeah.
mystery. There's no, yeah.
It's still
So
so surprising to me that none of them thought about going for Brett. I was very confused by that whole thing. They must have just n stopped caring about the whole money thing. So, I mean, I guess we can segue to Brett.
well, I mean, at that point, everybody had money. So I think that
Just
was,
the fact that he did that,
you
though.
know what I mean? I know, no, I get it,
Yeah.
but I think that it was like, okay, Brett's lack of socialism played in his favor in that. That's what I think. Because mind you, okay, if you're not out here being deceptive, and vocal, like he wasn't like Jim where you couldn't get him to be quiet. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he played the background and he also stuck to maintaining the support for everyone else outside of that money grab.
Yeah.
So, one small moment is not,
Gonna overshadow his whole game.
you know what I mean? I'm always big on that. For
Yeah.
me, it's like if for me to call somebody, like on who they are, what they are, there's steps and there's moments that lead up to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I gotta give him so talking about Brett, I don't have a lot to say, but I I did
Well, he
feel
didn't
this.
have a lot to say.
Yeah, exactly. But I did feel this in the moment that when Monica did not eliminate him, I thought that was her losing move. And I was like, maybe they were because remember in the episode, they made us think she was going to pick him. Maybe this is
Mhm.
foreshadowing that Brett is going to be what ends her game. And ultimately, he is what ended her game because at that final, he was the one that won the vote over her. If he was gone, maybe she gets to the end. So
You're
Brett
right.
Brett
I
did
didn't even think
something.
about that. That's a
Yeah.
good one too.
You don't gotta be
Yeah.
an act like Brett definitely, I gotta give him kudos. He definitely was a good player. Like, I don't think the top six were terrible players. It's just Brett wasn't that interesting to me because I have no idea what the fuck his motivations were, and he was a very quiet, stoic individual.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Now let's talk about my favorite guy,
Corey,
Corey.
I love
I just want
him.
to say, Corey, you were fucking phenomenal and fantastic.
Class
I
act.
love the God in you. I
Hmm.
love the way you stuck to your moral code.
Hmm.
I love the genuity that you have, the integrity that you have. You played to me the best game from all the guys. You know
I
what I
would
mean?
agree with that. Doesn't I feel like Corey was the most similar to Jeff. He was very,
Yeah,
yeah, because
yeah. I
Corey
did think that a
had,
couple of times. I
I
did.
think, yeah,
And maybe that's why I wanted him to win. I don't know.
I think Corey had good strategy. Well, Corey followed me like when the season started. That shows me that he has no ego.
I agree. There's some players that are quite interesting, but
Yeah,
I'm just
and
going to
he's a nice
minimize my
guy.
commentary on that.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I liked him in the show. I actually, of all of the guys, I think he added the most, I would say. Like, I think
Mhm.
if Corey was in a final three with different guys, I would have been more interested in him. It's just that he had such a similar story to the other two that I was like, But I remember him the most from the episode, actually. I remember him, everyone, it seemed like everyone was trying to get a piece of Corey for the ball challenge and then for the quiz game. So I got to give Corey kudos and on a good game, on a game well played.
Yeah, for sure. You did that. You did that.
And then we've got Tyler, our winner.
The Beast Game
Yeah,
Season 2 champion.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Listen, we talking a lot of shit, but you got $5 million in your bank account. We don't.
5.1.
Oh, that's right, 5.1. So, congratulations to you on a lot of money. You're going to change your family's life. And I have to give you kudos, even though you weren't the most interesting player to me. I saw your gameplay and I was impressed by it. It didn't need to be shoved down my throat. Like when I think back to it, you have the dodgeball game where you had people protecting you from getting out. Then you had the $1 million take where you took $100,000. No one's angry at you for taking it when it was technically an unfair share that you took. Then you've got the
I thought
vote.
about that was very
Yeah,
interesting too, that nobody,
they
but
didn't
yeah,
care. Then
yeah.
the vote, it was like a foregone conclusion. You didn't even need to use any of your money and you're just voted straight through. Then in this finale, you secured your spot in the final by taking a shot at August, because I guarantee you August would have taken a shot at him. I guarantee you August would have done something. So,
Honestly, I don't think he would have. I really feel like he was.
really?
I do. I don't think like for that challenge, just that
No,
challenge.
no, no.
Not
I'm
the,
not even talking about that challenge. I'm talking about once they're at the final four. If it was a final four of Brett, Corey, Tyler, and August, it's only the guys left. And I feel like
I still don't
August,
believe it. I think he would have gotten out Corey before he would have gotten out Tyler.
I don't know. I think that he would have gone for, you know how they say jokes are intrusive thoughts? I think that he's like, oh, ha, I'm going to take out Tyler. I think in the back of his mind, he's like,
Oh, did he say that?
yes, there's a meme going around like, oh, bro took a personal, where they spliced together August saying that and then joking and then Tyler actually getting him out. Like, I think that when
Oh, okay,
people
okay.
joke, it's like them trying to test the waters of if something would be okay. And maybe like subconsciously, he's like, oh, maybe if I say it, then maybe I'll see what the reaction is and I could do it.
I
You know what I
mean,
mean?
I do hear you. I can honestly just feel like at the same time and token though, top four, like even if it was me versus my game show best friend, we're at the top four. We got like me and you have a 50% chance that we're gonna win. So
Mhm.
like in my mind, I'm not gonna be thinking to get them out. But at the same time and token, I know this again, still once we're top four, bro.
But you're loyal. You're a
There's only
loyal player. I don't think he is a loyal player.
no, 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 no. Let me finish. What I'm saying is, at the end, if I'm playing against four other people, we equally have the same chance at
Hmm.
25%. You are all my enemy. You are
Yeah.
all my competitor. You are
Yeah.
all equally needing to go home. Like so, you see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I think the cutthroat would have came in, but I still don't think he would have went for Tyler first. I don't think he would have went for him first.
But I think he would have gone for him eventually.
I agree
So
to that. I can agree to that. I can
it's like
definitely
in
agree to that.
chess, you
Yeah.
got to knock out the queen before the queen comes for you. And it sets you up to
Oh,
make better
honey, don't I
moves.
know it?
Yeah.
Oh, and that was something that I fucking said to like when they did my final confessional, like that they didn't air,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Well, what do you think of what's going to happen?" I knew Tawana wasn't going to win because I was like,
Yeah. She
I've
doesn't
been
win.
her queen this entire time on the chessboard.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, she's been able to move around the entire chessboard, and I've been playing my position
Yeah.
and which was
Fabulously.
protection. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So that's a wrap on season two. Overall, I know we had a lot of negatives to say, but I think there
Was
was a
it
lot of,
negative or was it just like
well,
positive critique?
constructive criticism. That's what
There
it
you go.
was. Not negative, but or pros versus cons. Here's what I will say.
I like that better.
I think from a production standpoint, this season was successful. I think that
Absolutely.
from aesthetically beautiful, the
Woo!
editing was improved. I think Jimmy's even confidence in hosting these things improved. I think there were a lot of great ideas that they incorporated. My only thing is I wish there was more new. I think what held this season back was the idea of we have to have an island episode. We have to have a cubes episode. We have to have a final 10 vote. We have to have $1 million grab. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying that those things were bad. Like you had the Survivor crossover, great, absolutely great. But it's like the cube episode kind of fell flat for viewers. The $1 million episode fell flat for viewers. So I think that going into the next season,
Mhm.
what I would say is, I would say get 100 people. Don't stretch yourselves too thin. Have a beast cabin where people are brought in to do these confessionals. We have nothing but time when we're out there. And cast, you are doing people from all over the world. Make sure that you really put in that elbow grease to get people that are not alike. Even 100 people, you can
I
find
that
ways.
for me is that's all I want for season
Yeah,
3. That or for every season after.
yeah,
And that's for every show in the world. Like I just want
yeah.
more diversity because, even the YouTube videos, like I feel like
Oh
there's so
yeah,
much diversity in his YouTube videos, but then when you
yeah,
come to Beast Games, it's like, oh, like and especially as a brown girl, like I have so many people that are like that were messaging. I mean, even we in our, beginning of
yeah.
our recap, they were like, oh, there's not a lot of black people or there's not a lot of colored people. And it's like, it's not about race, it's about representation.
It's
And
about
I
seeing yourself in the person on the TV.
on the screen. And it's like
Yeah.
you have young people watching, you have older people watching, which as we
Mhm.
see with Jimmy trying to, get older people to,
Yeah.
apply for some of his videos and things, the lack of diversity from people not knowing, you know what I mean, or from people not being able to see themselves, that is a thing that you don't want to, come back and create, more opportunities for
But
you to have been
it
better
also
when
makes
you could have had it straight out the gate. You know what I
it
mean?
also makes the games less fun because when you have people that are never going to turn on each other because in their minds they're thinking, "Oh, we're going to be besties after the game is over, so I don't want to screw over my bestie." Like when you have that mindset, it leads to people playing the game safe, playing the game boring, not having crazy moments or whatever. Like
Hmm.
I personally align with people that are extremely different from me. And I mean, I want to, keep up with people as best as I can, but
Yeah.
I had myself open to all people because that's just who I am. But it also allowed me to, obviously, if I'm like besties with like a 70-year-old lady, which I was, but we're probably not
I
going to
know,
be,
my girl Beth.
yeah. We're
Okay.
probably not gonna be like going out getting mimosas together like every weekend. You know what I mean? We're
No,
compared to these
but
people, like they're
yeah.
just going to TikTok with each other. And again, that desire to win, I feel
Mhm.
like people, Vance comes to mind, were satisfied with getting screen time, with being a part of the Beast Games thing, walking away with a little bit of money, getting some TikTok fame. You shouldn't want that. They should want the $5 million, like air to breathe. They should want it so bad it should hurt. They shouldn't be satisfied with going out on a bribe. They shouldn't be
You know
satisfied
what? I
sacrificing.
do definitely agree to that too.
Yeah.
I'm curious to find how they're going to cast for season 3. What are your hopes, dreams, and wishes or expectations for season 3?
I want them to not do my expectations because I feel like they're falling back into bad habits by saying you need to represent your country, you need to have be a gold medalist or have done something for America or whatever. I don't think you're going to find the most interesting people when again you're limiting your crop circle. I
Hmm.
think you can have someone from Ireland that is just a regular, degular guy, and
Hmm.
he's going to bring the Irish experience. He doesn't need to be like a Nobel Prize winner or have some type of tagline. He could just be him. Same thing goes for get a girl from Japan. And she don't gotta be like a robotic expert or whatever you think is gonna come out of Japan. But if you put those two in a room, there are so many cultural differences. Like if you go to Japan, they're
Hmm.
very individualistic. They don't have they don't they're not good with like group dynamics. They actually there's a lot of loneliness in Japan. So how interesting would that be to put that against like Ireland where they're a very social community. So that's my hope. I want Mr. Beast and the casting people to throw away these expectations of what did you do for your country? What's the tagline? Pokemon Master, smarter than Albert Einstein. We don't need that. Just get interesting fucking people from
The
these
fact that
countries.
the Pokemon Master made it into our finale recap,
It's gotta, we
I'm
gotta close it
telling you,
up.
it's still a genius marketing idea because you're still talking about him.
It is. It is. Um, I don't think that they need to do that. Like
No, I get your point. I
get
definitely get your
interesting
point.
people first, then find a way to market them. That's what they can do.
I love that. I do
Yeah,
love that. I think my biggest hope for season three is I want the best challenges possible
good point.
that allow for the unexpected winner to triumph.
Yes.
Do you know what
Oh,
I mean? I
yes.
I want to be surprised and shocked at how we derive to our top 10, our top 5 or top 6. I want to be, and I want so many differences from a mathematical perspective. So like, okay, top 10, cool. But instead of it being a top 6 in season 3, let it be a top 5. Let it be a top 4.
Yeah.
Like,
Good
because
point.
that creates a different dynamic in the game and the challenges in itself because you have different numbers. So like, I just want to see an evolution of the progress of the Beast Games legacy,
Yeah,
for sure. I want to see um and I want to see players that are ready to fucking bring it because I feel like
that
season
want it.
1 definitely has over season 2 the passion. Like
Yeah.
I think that there was way more passion shown in season 1 from individual players versus season 2. When in season
Yeah.
2 you only really see passion from like Corey, from like Jim and Monica from their relationship, a little bit
But they
from
didn't have a
Nick.
passion to win. Jim literally
Exactly.
fell on his
And
sword. Would
and
you
that's
agree
the
with
fucking
this?
difference. And
I
that's the
actually
difference that I'm talking about.
I actually think there should be a cap. If you have over 50,000 followers, we don't need you on the show unless there's a circumstance. Because to me, if you have that many followers or if you are like known in this way, you probably are in a position where you're more focused on airtime and the show, like that part, than actually winning. And the people that are the most engaging are the ones that are there for the money and really need it. They can want the title too, but like really need the money.
I agree. I
Mm.
agree. Like, because like even from season 1, when I remember them asking like questions like like financial questions, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like, so I don't know, if that's something that they took into consideration for season 2 or not,
probably
but
not.
I can say that for season 3, like I think the difference between like season 2 casting and season 1 is like season 2, like a lot of the players didn't really seem like they needed the money. And it's like
Yeah.
even whether they really did or not, that's irrelevant.
I
It didn't
I
it
think that
didn't
they
come
didn't.
across.
You would be able to tell if someone needed it. I could tell Emma needed the money. I could tell that you needed the money. I could tell that even Tawani
Child,
needed the money.
okay, you see them braids
I
after.
yeah, I could not tell that I could not tell that these people needed the money. I
I
could tell
agree.
Hannah, I could tell. Jack, I could kind of tell. Um,
Nick,
Corey, I
Nick,
could tell.
Nick a little. Nick, I
Nick,
could tell
Nick, I could
maybe
tell.
he's been in a place recently where he's been like finally okay,
Yeah.
but not in a place that is gonna like sustain. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
that was I got that from him a little bit too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that there's a lot of opportunity with season three. We just have to see what they do. And I think you had a great point. They like don't stifle yourself. We need a top six. We need a top 10. We need a top 50 because I think that's what they did this season, and it forced them into having wastes of episodes. Like we need to
hmm
have a top six finale. But anyways, I think we could wrap it up there.
I agree. Well, I'll
Yeah.
ask you this on a scale. Okay,
Yes.
1 star to 10 stars. Season 2. What you giving it?
6 stars. I was
Six
gonna say
stars.
5, but I'm gonna go to 6. I say 6 because I feel there was a lot of great things they did. I
Mm-hmm.
think all of the new games I really enjoyed. The new games.
Mm-hmm.
But about half and half were new and old. It almost felt like even with bringing back season 1 people that you're holding on to season 1 and you're not embracing the new. So I think half of the episodes were really strong. I think Survivor was really strong. I think the voting game, the top 10 voting game was strong. What else was strong? The Break Your Heart episode was very strong. Notice the pattern of like all like the new things that they were doing. So I go a little higher than 5. I go to 6 because
Hmm.
I feel the passion behind this season and I can tell that they are improving. So I would do, and I overall I did enjoy my time with season 2. So I will give them a 6 out of 10. What would you give them?
Well, I mean, I know it's like the latest trend, but I promise I'm not doing this on purpose. But if you gave
No.
him a 6, I gave him a
A 7.
7.
Oh Lord. Ugh.
But I mean, and I feel like that's honestly very fair, even just to how we've broken down the entire episodes and this entire season.
Mhm.
I feel like I've always just been like one notch, in favor of,
Yeah.
the dynamics over, your opinions. And I feel like um I am genuinely, surprised in certain moments. I'm genuinely disappointed in certain moments. So that's the reason why that knocks it down from like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah.
I think that episodes 1 through 4 were almost flawless.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like almost keyword, because there's like some small things that I feel like maybe in episode 1 really could have been changed, but 2, 3, and 4 were so strong to me.
Hmm.
And then that's again another reason why I'm like, that's why it's not a 9 or an 8,
Maybe, maybe,
because it
maybe they
tapered
should have done
off.
batches. If they had done batches, we wouldn't have real like because the first 3 episodes we got all at the same time, so we didn't notice the cliffhangers. That's another thing that needs to go, the cliffhangers. But maybe if they had done batches, like 3 at a time, maybe that would have held better over with people.
As opposed to episode per week type of thing.
Because the top 10 voting episode got really low ratings when it was one of the best episodes of the season, and I think it got low ratings because of that cliffhanger.
Yes, because people were upset. People were
Very.
definitely upset. And I think like even just taking a note out of Stranger Things, where they released half of the season and then the
Yeah.
first half, second half, even Wednesday, they did that as well. So I'm not trying to compare Netflix to Amazon, but I'm just comparing, TV show rollout versus TV show rollout. So
What if they did batches of 3, 3, 3, 3, and then the finale?
I would love it.
That could work.
I would
And
love it.
then
And
they
then
could
personally,
build, yeah.
especially even just for us, like, people that are creators and people that want to talk about the show, it's easier to talk about it in groups as opposed to me, like, because it was a very hard schedule for us to commit every week to,
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
And
So
then there were
like,
some
yeah.
episodes there wasn't a whole lot to talk about, like when no one is going home. I think, okay, so the
Oh yeah.
last question I will ask you is
Mm-hmm.
if you get the call for season 3,
Oh, I didn't even apply, but yeah.
well, that's another thing. Um, if you were to get the opportunity, would you do season 3?
um it's a question, and I think it's a question for me because I'm looking forward to my redemption and my retaliation.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to being an all-star. I want to come back in an all-star competitive. I think the lack of interest going against all new people, um it doesn't serve me as strongly as it would to go back, to like go back home and get to see like my Beast Games family and get to do it again. So like
You want to
what
wait for All Stars.
I personally, that's I mean, I'm just giving you like my thought process as to why I didn't apply
Yeah.
for season 3. Like what am I fit like firstly, and I've gained weight. I've been in a very reflective space since Beast Games. Even just for like my brand and what I want to do in life, and things like right now, like I'm considering possibly moving in July. So like I got a lot of things on my mind, right now, where it kind of really only serves me to do short-term things,
Yeah.
because if I'm going to go back on Beast Games, I'm going
You want to be
back.
ready.
Yeah, and I don't personally feel ready right in this moment.
Yeah.
So for me the answer would be no.
Hmm.
I don't find the interest serving me well to going on Beast Game season 3. Now, if they brought a certain perspective, like how they incorporated, season 1 players into season 2, like that I can see, because you're not
Yeah.
they technically didn't compete from day 1. So
Yeah.
just a different,
It would be a little different.
yeah,
So,
just to differentiate, to start out season 3 as a player from ground zero,
mhm.
no. But to come back as player 817 in a OG fashion, and things like that, that I could consider. But I don't
Yeah,
like if I'm gonna play a day one game, I want to come back in an All-Star series. That's what I want.
I like that answer.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't even know if they are gonna. I don't think they will bring anyone back this go around. But
I mean,
who
I'm gonna be
knows?
quite honest. The only people that I would really have any interest in seeing come back, in season three from season two alone would be Monica, Nick, Hannah, Jack.
Jim, maybe.
No,
Well, personal
sorry.
interest, I agree with you. If I look through the show perspective, I think yes to all those people. I think, oh wait, hold on. I think Katie with a C. I think Jace,
Yeah, Katie with a C. She
well,
was
not
one of my
JC
yeah.
actually. I think Katie with a C. I think Ethan. I think
No
Ian.
to Ethan. Sorry.
I think they have something with him. But I
I
mean,
think the fact that you're talking about players that just don't bring it, he's one of them to me. But it's okay.
yeah, that's actually a good point. Okay, not him then. Katie with a C, Ian, Monica,
Now Ian, yeah, okay, yep,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
Monica, Jim, Jack, Hannah, Nick. We need to get to 10, so there's three more. I'm trying to think who I don't have on here. Maybe Corey? Maybe? I don't know if they would do Tyler again, the returning champ. I'm gonna just assume not.
Yeah, I would take him out anyway. But
Maybe
Corey
Corey.
definitely,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Corey.
Corey definitely.
So that leaves two more spot. August,
No,
and then you think no? I think yes. I think they would put him in again. And then for that final spot, I think I would say maybe
oh well, you know what? Okay, I do. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Oh
think
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Briley for that final spot because Briley had a huge episode, and she has something to do if she comes back. So I would say Briley would be the last one.
I almost want to agree with you, but I gotta put Sue over Briley. I need Sue
Oh,
to get that
oh well, if
comeback.
it's want, my list is totally different. I'm looking through the perspective of who it would be. But
No,
yeah,
I agree. I think
yeah.
I think Sue, and the reason why is because you already have Katie. So it's like to have Katie Briley, but to have Katie and Sue, that's two totally different storylines. So like I like that a little better.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I think
I know, right?
maybe they could save it for an all-star. I think if you're going to bring people back for this next thing, I think well, actually no, they might bring someone in to represent America, but
Ooh, that's a good call out. Now that I can
or to
see.
represent B City or you know what I mean or B
Yeah,
Slit.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I kind of want. I'm trying to think if I want it or not. What do you
Hmm.
think about season one and season two people that didn't have a moment to shine getting a chance to come back?
I would fucking be for it. I
Yeah.
would be so for
Because there
it.
were season one people that were on season two that didn't really get shout out because they weren't really shown. So they are willing to do it clearly.
Hmm.
I feel like they should do something because there's so many great people that are now going on other things that, and I'm not even talking about me, that would
Like
be,
Danielle, like Mia, like
yeah,
there's
they
a
have a
lot.
desire to redeem themselves in Beast games, and they
Yeah,
never were shown. And they have
yeah,
all this archive footage that they could use. They
yeah.
could even do something with it on YouTube.
Like the one, the last platform challenge in season one, going on the helicopter, and between the two guys, and he was like, "I should have just took the coin." He's like, "I should have just took it." Like like there's like
Oh, Jake. Yeah, that was my
you know what I
friend group.
mean?
There was a lot of
Yeah,
drama.
like
There's a lot
I
of
think
drama with that.
there's still a lot of passion that's left
I don't know.
to
I'm happy for Christian. Eh.
I know that's
Because that's my
not boo.
guy.
First of all, Christian
I'm
has
happy
like
that he
really
didn't bow
swelled
down to
up. Like
I'm happy he didn't
Christian,
bow
you're
down
looking
to them.
good.
Yeah. I'm happy he didn't bow down to them because I think he was getting peer pressure. I think that there was a whole thing going over. I like most of them now outside of
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
scam.
I mean,
But
I think it was a part of the
yeah,
game what they went through, and I feel like I don't hold anything over anyone's head. I think it
forgive
was
and forget. I'm
yeah.
over everything that happened in the game, but I was very happy for him in
I'm
that
over everything that happened in the game now, but in the heat of
that
the
he stood
moment,
up for himself.
yeah. Sometimes you need some time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
But
Um,
I, first of all, I love recapping season two with you. I can't wait
yes.
for, for we've and just the I think the final recap is we have seen, mind you, this was something that we just created, and we were like, you know what, like we already talk to each other every freaking week about this stuff. Like, why don't we just do it?
Do a recap,
And
yeah.
you know what I mean? So like I'm proud of us for taking the initiative to starting this. I'm proud of us for finishing, because especially like two people that have extreme ADHD,
Yeah.
like we did it. And so I just want to give you that bit of praise, because you know
And I'm giving it right back to you.
it's hard out here in this world. We have so many things going on in the world that can really just take you out mentally, and that's
Yeah.
the easiest way to lose, is, you know what I mean, before you ever try. So I'm excited to grow within our podcast. I'm excited for our content and our quality to evolve and get better, and to just honestly become the greatness that we already have within us, but just to bring it out and share it with the world. I'm very much so glad to be on this journey with you, for sure.
Same. I really wouldn't choose anyone else from Beast Games. You were such a special person. You are such a special person to me, and we've definitely grown closer through this. And it's
Yeah.
been a lot of fun talking about the game with you, and just like having you as a rock. And I love you dearly, and I'm excited to see what comes next. So, I guess the only thing to tease y'all is I'm assuming there will be a reunion. If there is a reunion, we will be talking about it.
For sure.
We have some interviews that we did throughout the season that we're going to put out there. I know that Hannah was interested talking with us. Jack was interested talking with us.
Nick, yeah.
Nick, maybe even Klitzner. We're going to see what we can get.
Well, we're going to set the record straight, honey, for real, okay?
I really want to chat with Klitzner. I want to see what that's all about. So if we do, you will see about it. But make sure that you follow, you like, share, give us a rating, what you thought of the whole season. If you haven't, all of the recaps from the previous episodes are out there. I want to give a shout out to Chantel, who has helped us produce this season, and she filled in for Queen for, I think it was episode like 7 or episode 9.
Yeah, because it was like, because there was nothing to talk about. I was like,
there's nothing to say. So she filled in. If you haven't seen too, Chantel and I have been recapping Survivor 50. You may want to come on with us for an episode, Queen. It's a good ass season.
I think that's probably I think Beast Games has really turned me into the TV head that I was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it was like once high school came, I was so serious about basketball, and it was just like, then college was basketball, like, and then it was I didn't like Flavor of Love and like Bad Girls Club was like,
oh, you would love House of Villains, because
that was the hottest shit out when I was in college.
Tiffany Pollard is on House of Villains, and House of Villains reminds me so much of old school, but we'll talk more about that. So sure. Yeah, make sure you keep up with us. Queen, where can they find you?
Listen, all things at the Queen of Coverage. And and even in this recent discovery, I've changed settherecordstraight.podcast, because I realize what I do is not strictly just podcast material, it's media material. So I am now going to be strs.media on YouTube and for my other personal pages or individual pages. So all you gotta do is follow me at the Queen of Coverage, and everything else is there.
And as always, I am at Slightly Bitter everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. I'm going to be a little bit bitter there. And I guess that's it. So we're going to wrap out. So everyone,
Season 2. Goodbye to you.
Thank you to everyone that has listened. Thank you to all of the alumni that have came and chat with us and supported us. And Mr. Beast, we'll see you soon. Until next time, y'all, make sure you stay followed, you stay tuned, but most importantly, that you stay beastly with the OGBG breakdown. All right. Bye, everybody.